all took a hit in Katrina. Everybody in my lot. Rusted underbellies, a little water damage here, a little there. But we kept working, taking kids to school. That's what we do. A few years later, the new buses came into town, and we knew what that meant. Off to the scrapyard. All my fellow buses got put on the auction block. One after another they got sold and taken away. Traders, recyclers, scrappers, shippers. But I had been forgotten. They left me on the lot. A retired bus, left on the lot. A strange twist in fate from the perspective of these headlights. There was more in store for this old bird. One day these two folks came up and talked the Jefferson Parish school bus yard. They were looking for a bus just like me. Go figure. They picked me up for what I was worth in medals, and they were talking about this and traveling all over, helping kids and animals and saving the planet. What was I getting myself into? The first day they'd met me, we drove all the way almost to Mexico, to Brownsville, Texas. Even my longest of field trips had never been that far. This old bird, getting herself into an adventure of a bus's lifetime. Look at me. This was only the beginning. They had some plans for me. My seats came out, and before long they were painting me sky blue. They had kids helping out, putting paint all over me. I was becoming anything but your average school bus. I felt like the most special bus in town. Next thing you know, they started feeding me biodiesel. At first it tasted kind of different, and I was skeptical. But I tell you, that stuff is tasty. And apparently I was helping clean the air on the planet by using that stuff. This old school bus from Louisiana, now I'm the star of my new town in Texas. They called me the Eco-Bus.
Invariably, it works like a magnet for anyone who has any kind of interest whatsoever in ecology or environment. So you get a lot of people who are interested in that. Like most people, they have day jobs. And the bus is a way to draw people who have those interests out of the woodwork.
It's very well known by the community. When we see the blue bus driving around, we know that something's going to go on.
I saw the bus and took a tour and I loved it. And I wanted to help and I wanted to get involved.
It's healthy.
We run on biodiesel.
Woo! The bus rolls!
Since we've been on the road, we've kind of brought lessons other communities have learned back to our home community in Brownsville and are currently implementing those ideas. So these are some benefits of traveling, some benefits of the Mobile Institute that I didn't anticipate. I thought that we would just be the teachers, but it turns out that we're also the students bringing lessons from elsewhere and spreading them like a bee with pollen, I suppose. Us buses, we like to have jobs. And I tell you, these folks kept me busy. They were using me as a pickup truck, an art project. We were teaching cooking and gardening. And after a while, they thought I should have a party. It was the beginning of my Lone Star Eco-Bus tour.
Going to be delicious, right?
Yeah, the smells have been awesome.
This is great. You know, it's healthy, good fun.
Healthy kids, healthy food, healthy growing. We need to really work on that a lot more, especially with how the school districts are now serving meals that aren't that healthy for our children. I think this is a good start.
Helping out Rio Bravo Wildlife Organization, and they invited us over to participate in the event, which I love it because there's a lot of kids out here, and I noticed they're also doing re-vegging an area back there, and of course we're all together in that same theme of conservation.
Really likes chocolate, and we all really like lemon, so we decided to one day to try it and see how it works. That was good.
So you built the recipe yourself? That's creative.
I think it's an amazing idea just because of the valley itself, with the lack of knowledge or education for eating healthier. And the more people can come out, the obesity is alarming. So maybe next year would be a bigger event and it would just get bigger and bigger. Potatoes, black olives, and
Apparently I was famous and deserving of a tour around the whole state of Texas. We'd be working the whole time, teaching everybody about clean energy, nature, and sustainability, things I was slowly becoming an expert in. We'd be building things, hosting events, planting gardens, staying busy, but you know me, that's just the way I like it. After my celebration in Brownsville, I was ready for this tour. I was wearing my Eco-Bus hat and shoes and feeling quite confident about it. And guess what they did for me? A brand new paint job. I must be the prettiest bus in Texas. I look about as pretty as the nature we are trying to protect, in fact. I had a full belly of biodiesel, 5 friends on board, and was headed up to my second Lone Star Eco-Bus stop, Corpus Christi, Texas. This was a dream come true. We built a garden with a bunch of kids. Everybody was taking tours of me and admiring my paint job. This was like a field trip from my old days, except I was getting on the news, and I was the star of the whole thing. I guess I was in the right place at the right time.
Es un evento creado por el Rio Bravo Eco-Bus que quiere ayudar a los niños a comer más saludable. La meta del evento es que los niños vayan a la tienda, escojan sus frutas y verduras y luego vayan a la casa y creen una receta saludable y deliciosa.
Boy's mom passed away last year, and she was always doing volunteer work at the Boys and Girls Club, and so it's going to be dedicated to her tomorrow, and we'll have all these plans, we'll have a memorial. I think the mayor will be there, yeah. And yeah, right here on Freeway. Yeah, right here down the street.
To water and plant? Yes. Do y'all like this art garden?
Mostly to have fun and to plant some healthy foods.
Garden means to me to help the community and the Boys and Girls Club have fun looking at the garden.
I like getting dirty, playing out here with my friends, and it's better than doing homework.
Compost, and we've been making, like we get old food and put in chicken mayo and animals eat it.
Yeah, that's what you like? You want to see earthworms in your compost pile?
Yes.
The next stop was Houston, Texas, where I learned a whole new level of recycling. They had filled me to the roof with plastic bottles. What were those boys getting me into on this trip? I have no idea.
The Walmart Foundation has helped fund your trip through Texas with the Eco-Bus, which I understand is basically carrying supplies and literature around. The idea is to show people what's possible by going green, right?
That's correct. We started down in Brownsville with doing a couple of sustainability projects and getting people outside and healthy living. And we thought, what better way than to have a mobile classroom, if you will. And what better place to go to be involved with the community than a community hub like Walmart. So we sought out to work with Walmart and received a gracious grant from them to allow us to go to 6 cities in Texas to do projects like this.
One last question real quickly. What kind of response do you get when people see how easy some of these things can be?
Well, I'll tell you, this is our 3rd city we've done so far. We've done Brownsville and Corpus Christi and Houston. And the response in Houston has been overwhelmingly positive. Everyone's very interested, and it seems that we're just one cog in the whole machine of going green in Houston. I'm just very impressed with the city and very grateful for your hospitality.
Well, we're happy to have you. Joe Boswell with the Eco-Bus. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
We arrived at the garden. I'm an old pro at this point. I'm giving tours to the news stations. I'm showing myself off at every event in town. And I got to watch my staff build a greenhouse out of plastic bottles. These folks know how to make the most of what they got. Well, apparently, my next stop is Austin, Texas. I hope to see you there. I feel revived as an Eco-Bus. The story of this old bird has just begun.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in. Keep trucking, like the doodah man. Together, more or less in line. Just keep trucking on.
Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street. Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Dallas got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York got the ways and means and just won't let you be.
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they gotta get going. Out of the door and down to the street all alone.
Trucking like the doodah man once told me you got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down.